Hi, welcome back to the channel. For tonight's dinner, I'm going to be making crock pot chicken and dumplings. Now, I've made chicken and dumplings before many times, right? But this recipe, it calls for cream of chicken, and I don't think I've ever used cream of chicken in my chicken and dumplings. And spoiler alert, this was amazing. And from now on, I will be using cream of chicken in my chicken and dumplings. Now, on this day, it was still fairly warm. It was like in the 80s, and that was unusual for where I live because I live in the desert, and normally it's still 100 degrees or plus. So I had a craving for chicken and dumplings, and I use chicken thighs because I feel the chicken breast, it dries out quickly, and I prefer to use chicken thighs. And I will try to remember to leave the recipe down in the description box down below because sometimes I forget to do that. So pretty much I just let this cook for about 6 to 7 hours, and then I come back in and then I add the biscuits and everything, and it came out good. Everyone loved it. This is like my favorite dish, especially when it starts getting cooler. I love it. So I'm going to stop rambling here and I'm going to let you finish watching. For tonight's dinner, I'm making sausage Alfredo bake, but I did not bake it. You know what? I don't think I've ever baked this. I've always just made it over on top of the stove, and it comes out really good. What it is, I am afraid to use my boiler because back in the day, some of you, your stoves, the boiler used to be on the bottom, right? This stove that we have here, it's a newer stove, and the boiler is in the oven. I've never used it like that before, and I'm afraid to put my oven to 500 degrees. I freak out putting my oven at 425 degrees. So I've just have never used that feature. So I just I cook it on top of the stove. I make my own Alfredo sauce all the time, either if I'm making it this way or just making chicken Alfredo or whatever. And it comes out so good every time, and it's a family favorite. So right here, I'm starting to make the roux for the Alfredo sauce. Uh, I just add the butter and I added some garlic. That's how I like to keep my garlic, is the minced garlic, and I just keep it in the fridge. It's just easier that way. And then I add the flour, and then what top makes this dish so good is adding the cayenne pepper. Oh my goodness, that is so good. It's not too spicy because I don't add a lot. It just gives it that kick in the back of your throat, if you know what I mean. So delicious. And yeah, that's it. I'm just continuing to make my roux and okay, for tonight's dinner, I'm going to be doing uh like the little shake and bake that you buy, the little boxes at Walmart and stuff like that. I'm actually going to be making my own, but I'm going to line my cookie sheet with um, some foil right now so I don't make a mess in my pan. Easy cleanup. I had pork chops in the freezer and I just didn't know what to do with them. I was trying to figure it out. And a friend I was talking to, I suggested shake and bake. And she's like, yeah, that's a good idea. So we're going to go with that. And eventually I am going to spray my pan. So let me get the spray. I'm just using good old canola oil spray here. I spray it really well. I don't want nothing sticking. So I'm going to set this off to the side. Put the foil away. So I've rinsed my pork chops and everything. When I buy my meats in general, I take them out of the package anyway, and I put them in a freezer bag. I cannot wait to get a food saver, a vacuum sealer, whatever you call them, excuse me, because that's going to make your meats last longer in the freezer. I found one on Amazon. I just need to buy it. But I am going to be using Italian breadcrumbs. I'll use a half a cup of that, and then a half a cup of panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to be seasoning it with garlic powder, onion powder, some parsley, and some oregano, salt and pepper as well. So I'm going to get this in the bag and get this going. And then also I'm just going to set my oven to about 400. And my pork chops, I have the bone in it, but they're not thick. They're pretty thin. So it shouldn't take them that long at 400. You know what? I need a little bit more of that. You know, I'm going to do a cup of the Italian breadcrumbs. Because since this already has some type of seasoning in it, so pretty much it'll be a cup and a half. That should be way over enough. I don't measure here. I just eyeball. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add some onion powder. And every time I make these, they come out really good. I'd say that's about a tablespoon and a half. Or less than that. Some garlic. Love parsley. So, some parsley in there. Oregano, because oregano has like all the seasoning in there. It's mixed. And then I'm going to put some salt and pepper. Not a lot of salt. And then pepper. I know my pepper sounds like it's on crack, but it is not. The batteries were changed. I don't know. I think the peppercorns are a little too big. I'm also going to set my oven to 400 so I can start preheating. And